Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am here with my budget planner to do my week 1 check-in of my January monthly budget. I am, just a heads up, filming this a little bit earlier because I will be on a trip to Big Bear this weekend up until Monday. And since I do want to get this week 1 check-in up on Monday, I'm kind of cutting the days a little bit short. In reality, not really, just because we did start the month on a Friday, so I typically check in from Monday through Sunday, but since we started on Friday, I am now going to do exactly a week, so from Friday the 1st until Friday the 8th, and that is what I'm going to weekly check in for this week. I think first and foremost, I'm going to just lay down my budget expense stickers and go through all of my spending for this week. So I do have all of my budget expense stickers here ready to go in all of the colors, and I also have my key here which tells me which color means which cash envelope. And I get a lot of questions as to what this is. This is actually just a washi card from Simply Gilded, from one of her older subscription boxes. I believe she has some of these in stock in her shop, not this one specifically, but I believe she does. I know people have used business cards or other just washi cards that are not from Simply Gilded, but that's the one that I'm using. And then I do use a coil clip connector from Erin Condren to kind of stick that in the back and have my key here. And that is kind of what I use to let me know what spending I'm having every single month. So if you guys would have seen my cash envelope stuffing video, then you guys would have seen me setting this monthly view up, as well as my variable income spread. So those are all set up, as well as I set up my budget spread with you guys and my sinking fund. So my weekly check-in spreads are going to be in these blank pages. And let me just grab my stickers. So here I have my washi that I'm going to be using, which is the floral pattern and the correlating weekly check-in kit. So I'm quickly, I think, going to set this spread up first and foremost, and then we'll come back to lay down the budget expense stickers in my monthly view. So both of these spreads are set up. I went ahead and made my lines as well. And then I just wanted to mention one change to the weekly check-in, which if you guys have already set up your spreads, then you guys already know this. But I did went ahead and add a section here for any rollover money that you may have to roll over from last month, from cash envelopes and all of that. And I know that this is crucial for people who budget paycheck to paycheck. So that is a little inclusion. I think I got maybe one comment from somebody mentioning if I could offer it in the old version as well as the new version. So go ahead and let me know how it is that you like the rollover column here. If you like it, if you don't like it, just please let me know in the comments down below. But since I am going to be rolling over money, typically I only do this once a month, so it's not going to matter for me for the rest of the weeks, but the first week is crucial for me to have that rollover amount, just so that you guys get to see what I'm rolling over from last month's cash envelopes. And I think since we're already here, I can break up my weeks. So week 1 is going to be, like I mentioned, from the 1st until the 8th. I am filming this on the 9th, by the way, right before we leave to our trip. And then week 2 is going to be from the 9th until, so like I mentioned, typically I do from Monday to Sunday. And I think I'll just do from the 9th until the 17th. This month is kind of funny with my check-ins and my trip and all that, which happens and I just, have to adjust. So I think I will do from the 9th until the 17th. That's kind of a lot of days though. It's okay. Okay, so we'll do from the 9th until the 17th, and then week 3 is going to be from the 18th until the 24th. Week 5 will be from the 25th until I believe the 31st. Yes, the 31st. And then instead of us having a 5th week, I'm just going to make this a results section. So you guys will see kind of how I go about this once I am ready to close out this month. But for now, those are all of my weeks and how they will be broken up. Now I will go ahead and write out my categories. So I have my cash envelopes here, which are the categories that I like to weekly check in for, which I have them here in my wallet. So we did stuff these a couple days ago. So we have allowance, beauty, gas, and groceries, household, and eating out. They're still pretty chunky, especially because I rolled over some money, but the first category that I have here is groceries, like I mentioned. Then I'm gonna do household, then eating out. It's so funny how like we're changing it up. I feel like I've always done the weekly check-ins the same for like 2 years, and now it's changing, which, I mean, some change is good. I really want to see how I like this new weekly check-in. Then I have allowance, beauty, and gas cash envelopes. And I also always like to have a section for any unbudgeted expenses, like so. And then I also want to mention that instead of using a micro happy notes for all of my cash envelope trackers, this month I'm changing it up just a little bit. I am actually using my pocket planner, which is a planner that I take with me pretty much everywhere, and it started to be kind of tedious to carry this as well as my micro happy notes everywhere with me. Although the bag that I have is pretty big because I also have to carry my wallet and my cash envelopes, but it just seemed like too much for me to carry. So I am now using my pocket planner to house all of my cash envelope trackers. And I believe by the time you guys are watching this video, I would have already uploaded my pocket planner setup video. So make sure you go ahead and check it out if you guys would like to see what else I have in my pocket planner. But I do keep all of my cash envelope trackers in here now. And I did get these inserts. Well, let me give you a little shout out to my sister because she actually sent me this shop because she's using the same exact inserts in her pocket planner. And the shop name is called Simple and Trendy Co. This is kind of like her expense tracker. The only thing that I personally, it's not that I don't like it, it's that I wish it had, is that I wish that instead of month, it would say category and a little place for me to put how much I'm budgeting for the month. And then everything here is great, but I would love to have like a total, like what do I have left over after the $70? Kind of what I would do in my micro happy notes. So that's kind of what I have to work with for now. I might end up creating one of my own, we will see, but so far this has been so much better than me carrying this as well as my micro happy notes. And I have a little budget section here, as you guys can see in my pocket planner. So everything works out, and that's kind of what I'm going to be looking at right now. Okay, so for rollover, I didn't roll over anything for groceries, but I did roll over money for household. I ended up rolling over $7. For eating out, I rolled over $12. Nothing for allowance. That gets rolled over to my allowance sinking fund envelope, but I did end up rolling over $80 for beauty. And that's it. Nothing for gas, and of course nothing for unbudgeted. So those are the rollover amounts and how I would put it in my rollover column of my weekly check-in spread. So now that I have those all ready to go, I can go ahead and move on to laying down my stickers in my monthly view. I'm going to check off paying off my car, or making my car payment there. And then I didn't have any expenses on the 1st or the 2nd, but on the 3rd we went grocery shopping, which we typically go grocery shopping on Monday or Tuesdays, but we wanted to be better about it this week. So we ended up going on the 3rd, and I spent $70. I keep saying we, I've noticed in all of my videos, but I'm only budgeting for my income and my expenses. by the way. And then we went to Subway, me and Paul, and I ended up paying for that for both of us. And that ended up being $20. So that is it for the 3rd. Then I didn't have any expenses up until I believe the 6th. Yeah, so on the 6th, we had to pick up some household items, as well as I got some things for our trip this weekend. But from household, I spent $21 on the 6th from Target. Oh my god, I also went to Target because I ran out of all the K-Cups that I had. I had just finished using the very last K-Cup that I had, so I was in desperate need of some, and I ended up just buying two 22 K-Cup boxes, and that was $26 on the 6th. I have something else though but not on the 6th. So for my allowance cash envelope, I spent $13 on the 3rd for a devotional book. I mentioned this I think in my goals video, but I want to be better about reading devotionals on a daily basis, and so I bought that on the 3rd. And then on the 5th, I also made an expense from my allowance cash envelope, and that was for the Weight Watchers Plus app. This is a monthly fee that I'm thinking of including in my monthly budget. Moving forward, we will go ahead and see. But if you guys don't know about Weight Watchers, the main reason I wanted to get the app was because I believe they were having some sort of promotion, and I really want to be better, and one of my main goals for 2021 is to start working out, and of course that comes with eating healthy and all of that. So I really have been liking the app. Let me know if you guys would like to see kind of a video of what you can do on the app. But I've been tracking all of like my sleep. You can track all of your meals, which is so funny. I looked up like a Peruvian dish and they actually had it on the app, which is crazy. And you guys know that I eat a lot of Peruvian food, so that was really funny, and I really like the app for that. And you can also track like activity and all of that, which I haven't done much of this week, but for sure once I'm back from my trip, I'm planning on being a lot more consistent. But it's really cool. You can track your sleep and all of that. I don't know if I mentioned that, but yeah, so that was $14, and I took that out of my allowance cash envelope. And then the last expense that I had this week was on the 8th. So yesterday I spent $46 from my beauty cash envelope, and that was for some makeup from Ulta. I'm pretty much out of my under eye powder, as well as I needed a matte primer. I'm out of that, and I just ended up buying a lip liner, so that ended up being $46. So now I have two bills here: my car insurance, which I did pay my dad for, and renter's insurance. So those are all of the bills and expenses that I've had for this week. And now that I have those laid down, I can go ahead and lay down my no spend stickers, as well as I have some payday stickers here. Right here. Okay, so my shop got paid on Tuesday the 5th. And no spend days from the 1st until the 2nd, which whenever I have bills, I don't consider those no spend days because that's a bill that I have to pay. So I had a no spend day on the 2nd and on the 4th. And those are pretty much all of my no spend days for this first week, which is not bad. At least we have two, better than none. Now that I have all those stickers laid down, I'm going to go to my weekly check-in spread. We'll kind of go back and forth as to see my spending. For groceries, I had one expense, like I mentioned, from Food for Less, and that was $70. So I spent $70 here. Then household, I also had one for Target of $21, so $21 here. And I'm not sure why I didn't write out the remaining, but after groceries, why am I so bad at this already? Okay, so I had two expenses for groceries. One was for Food for Less and one was for K-Cups. So that was a total of $96 on groceries this week, which one of my main goals, which I don't think I mentioned, was or is to decrease my grocery spending this month. We will definitely go ahead and see how that goes, but I started like I mentioned, with 275. So 275 minus 70 and 26 means that I have left over 179. Which, if we look at how many weeks we have left over, which is 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so 3 weeks around. Let's just divide it by 3. That means that I would have to spend around $60 each week so that I am good with the grocery amount that I gave myself for the month. So once again, we will go ahead and see. And then for household, that is $21 spent. So, and we started with the 100, and then we added $7 for rollover, minus 21 that we spent means that we now have $86 remaining for household, which I could also divide that by 3, but I'm honestly always pretty good with the household amount that I give myself, but that would be around $28 per week. Then next we have eating out, which we have one expense here for Subway of 20. So $20 spent. And once again, this is kind of tricky in the beginning because I do have rollover money that I have to account for, but let's take a look at eating out. I hope you guys can see that, by the way. So we started with 100 for eating out, minus 20 for Subway, plus the rollover 12, means that I have $92 remaining for the month, which if we divide that by 3 means that I have around $30 to spend per week, which I am honestly trying to not eat out anymore, like whatsoever. So I think I'm hoping that I'm either able to put that towards next month's rollover money, or if I eat out, that I eat out healthier than I've ate out in the month of December. Because do you guys remember December? I ate out way too much then. But okay, next we have allowance, which I spent for a book for $13 and $14 for the Weight Watchers app. So that is a total of $27. So $27 spent from allowance. And I believe I started, yeah, so I started with 100. 100 minus 27 means that I have $73 left for the month, which I'm usually pretty good about not using my allowance money, but these were both two things that were going to help me with my goals for this year, so I really wanted to buy them. But if we were to break it up until the next 3 weeks, that means that I would have to spend around $24 per week, which is pretty good for me. Next up, we have beauty, which I do have an expense here, which is my last expense actually, of $46. So $46 spent, and I started with $225 in the beginning of the month, and I went ahead and added 80. So $305 minus 46 means that I now have $259 remaining for my beauty cash envelope, which is quite a bit of money. And honestly, I feel like I'm going to have a lot of money left over for beauty this month, especially because I rolled over so much money from last month. But we will go ahead and see how it plays out. I'm not even going to divide it by 3 because if I did, it would still be a lot of money. And honestly, I'm not due to get my nails done up until I think the 18th of January. So we will see. I do have to pick up some like makeup items though that I'm running out of, and I haven't bought in a long time, so I might end up using some of that money for that, maybe some skincare. But yeah, that's what I have left over for beauty. And then I know I didn't pump gas this week, so I'm just going to put 0, and I don't have any red stickers either, which would mean unbudgeted expenses, so I'm going to put 0 here as well. And for gas, I believe I budgeted $60. So I still have $60 remaining, and I'm going to write a dash for unbudgeted because I don't ever budget anything for the unbudgeted category, just because I don't want to treat it as a miscellaneous category since I already have a miscellaneous sinking fund envelope for that. So that is going to be it for the weekly check-in part of this video, which is a big part of it. But I wanted to go ahead and show you guys my note page for the month of January. I have yet to set up my savings tracker here, and at the bottom of that I like to lay down this month's script, which these scripts are from my shop. They are called, I believe, the no page scripts, and this is how I use them in my plum paper planner. So in the beginning of the month you always get this dashboard which has a bunch of other things, which I think I showed in the beginning of December, me actually laying down these stickers, but this time around I was really inspired and I really wanted to write everything down prior to me filming the video. So up top here I like to put 3 financial goals for the month. This month my goals are to decrease grocery spending, like I mentioned, make an extra debt payment of $940, because I went ahead and took a look at my beginning debt and divided that by 12, which is when I'm planning to pay off my student loans, and so that meant that I would have to make extra debt payments of $940 every single month this year. So that's kind of the goal. We will see how everything plays out, but that was my goal, my second goal for this month. And then my third goal is to not deplete my adventures fund, because you guys will see in a second how much I've spent for this Big Bear trip so far, and I honestly don't want to use up all of my adventures sinking fund on just this one trip, because I'm planning on doing other trips this year. So that's kind of something that I want to keep in the back of my head. So that's why I put that as my goal number 3. And then in these sections I like to put my credit scores, so beginning and ending, bills that are coming up. This month I put rent, car payment, car insurance, and then I'll put internet and electricity when they are due there. And then in here I like to put cash envelopes and the total amount that I've spent for them for the month. So here I have all of my cash envelopes. Debt, as you guys saw, we have beginning and ending, and then savings I also have a little section for that with a beginning and ending. So that's kind of how I like to set up my note pages. And like I mentioned, on this side I will go ahead and set up my savings tracker. It usually doesn't take up much room, it will take up like half of it. And then down here I will go ahead and put a this month and put things that are coming up, which I need to get to doing that. So I'm probably going to do this once I finish the video. But aside from weekly checking in, let me take you guys to my sinking funds to show you guys how much I've been spending from which sinking fund this past week. So this is my transaction log for my sinking funds, which is why it's right next to my sinking fund spread. And in here I have made quite a few expenses thus far. Most of them are from adventures, because like I mentioned, I think in my January monthly budget, I am going to be going up to the mountains to Big Bear, and we're renting a cabin with my sister and her husband. So on the first I ended up paying $189 for the Big Bear cabin stay. That was my part of it. Then on the 6th, I have quite a few expenses. Most of these I think were from Target. From date night, I paid $14 for some Valentine's Day goodies. Then I ended up buying myself a shirt, so I took that out of my clothing sinking fund. That was $12. And then more adventure expenses. I spent $105 for snow gear, because I have absolutely no type of snow gear. It is not snow whatsoever here in Southern California. So I wanted to go ahead and buy some like snow boots and I think some pants. And I've mentioned how I was thinking of going to like thrift stores, but we didn't end up going. So my last resort was to get Amazon, because of course Amazon Prime. And so I ended up spending $105, and that I took out of my adventure sinking fund. So that's what I've spent for that. And then last but not least, from the 6th until the 8th, we bought some groceries for our stay this weekend. So my part ended up being $54. I'm hoping to film a Big Bear kind of like weekend getaway vlog, so make sure that you stay tuned for that, especially if you guys have been missing my Vlogmas videos. I know I get a bunch of comments from you guys, and I honestly miss vlogging, so this is going to be a pretty fun trip, I think, especially because we'll be vlogging. I think with that being said, is that it? That is all for sinking funds. And then I think last but not least, I just have my variable income page to kind of update you guys on. So far I've spent $318 for shipping. I paid for PicMonkey, and then on the 8th I spent $52.83 from Scribble Prints Co. I ended up buying her, I think it was the Park Hopper kit and her new bougie bundles, which if you guys are into sticker planning, then you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, and if you guys don't, then you don't. But I will be having that, I'm pretty sure, in an upcoming haul, so make sure you stay tuned for that video. But those are pretty much all of my business expenses from YouTube and Patreon thus far. And with that being said, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. That is all that I have for this week 1 check-in. Please, as always, if you enjoyed it, do not forget to give this video a huge thumbs up, as well as subscribe to my channel if you guys are not subscribed already. And hopefully I will get to see you guys on my next video. Bye guys.